welcome to this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm Courtney Bloomer, and I'm here in the Brewery Arts Center studios with Hannah McDonald from Partnership Carson City. Hi, Hannah. Thanks for being here today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, we're glad you could make it. Tell us a little bit about Partnership Carson City, your organization, and what it is you do for our community.
Partnership Carson City is a local nonprofit. We focus on drug and alcohol education for all of our community. We have a mission of wanting to reduce the use of alcohol and drugs.
All ages here in Carson City. I know
ages.
you were working last week with some kids at the school.
Yes, we focus on all ages. My primary job is working with the youth. So we work with Boys and Girls Club, we work with Carson High School, and many of our other local schools.
Well, I know that as part of your mission to reduce drug use here in Carson City, one of your big projects each year is partnering with the Sheriff's Office to do the prescription drug Roundup. Some people maybe don't know what that is, so why don't you tell us about what a prescription drug Roundup is?
That's right. We do partner with the Sheriff's Office and our local DEA to do prescription drug roundups. We collect all drugs, whether it's prescription, over-the-counter, or any unused medical items, and we safely dispose of them or donate them to local organizations.
Okay, so can people bring their medications? How do you like to receive those? Like, what's the right way? If I had medications that I wanted to bring to you, how do I do that?
You can meet us at Save Mart, all of the Save Marts in Carson City, and also Smith's on April 25th from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock.
So representatives from Partnership Carson City are going to be there, representatives from other organizations as well?
That's true, yes. We have our local Sheriff's Office. We have to have an officer with us, and we have representatives from our organization as well.
Okay, so prescription drugs, what if people have illegal drugs that they want to get rid of as well?
Illegal drugs as in street drugs?
Yes.
We do not collect illegal drugs. We only do prescriptions or medications that are over the counter.
Okay, so for the prescription drug Roundup, prescription drugs only.
Yes.
And what happens to those medications after they're turned in?
Our DEA takes them to Sacramento to a proper disposal site for us.
So DEA, that's the Drug Enforcement Agency.
That is correct.
All right. And so those drugs make the trip all the way over to Sacramento.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why are we not getting rid of them right here? Why is the extra trip?
They have to be disposed of in a proper way. It has to be EPA approved, and the way they are disposed of is done in an infirmary, and we just don't have those resources here.
Okay, so the drugs go in the incinerator and they're gone.
Yes.
And safe and not going into our water supply. Safe, kids can't get a hold of those and take them inadvertently.
Correct.
It is dangerous, of course, to take prescription drugs if they weren't prescribed for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the service that you guys are providing to the community is a really valuable one.
Yes, yes.
So this one day, April 25th, is going to be the prescription drug Roundup, and people can bring their medications on that day. What if people don't hear about it and they miss it? What should they do with prescription drugs to get rid of them the other 364 days of the year?
Well, fortunately, we have 2 roundups a year. But in between that time, you can drop off your medications at the Sheriff's Office, in any Sheriff's Office around the state. If you are unable to get there, we have a proper disposal for doing it at home. You can take your medications and dissolve them in water, and then put them into coffee grounds or into kitty litter, and then just throw them away in your trash can.
Okay, so kitty litter. A lot of people have kitty litter or can get a hold of some kitty litter. What's the point of mixing it with kitty litter or coffee grounds? Why can't you just throw them out?
If you just throw them out and you're throwing away solid pills, if your neighbors know you take medications, or if there's people who are interested in maybe stealing them, you have a higher chance of that happening. So by dissolving them, putting them into that kitty litter, it helps absorb them, soak them up, and no one can get their hands on them.
Okay, so that's just an added safety measure as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just flush them down the toilet or down the sink?
Yes, if we put them into our water supply, that destroys our water supply. It raises our water rates, which we don't want to happen, and it contaminates our future water.
So those drugs are actually still circulating. I know that they've done some tests, and especially things like statins can be found in the water system.
Yes.
So for anyone who's watching, don't flush your drugs down the toilet or down the sink.
Exactly.
Follow that method of mixing them in with, crushing them up and mixing them in with some coffee grounds or some kitty litter to get rid of them that way instead.
Yep. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, take them to your Sheriff's Office or take them to our drug roundups.
All right. Fantastic. And that is going to be on April 25th.
Yep.
What day of the week is that?
That is a Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
Yep.
And tell people again the locations where they can
The
go.
locations are Save Marts, all of the Save Marts in Carson City, and Smith's from 9 to 1.
Okay, 9 to 1, Save Mart North, Save Mart South, and Smith's.
Yes.
All right. So
And Save Mart on Highway 50.
and Save Mart on Highway 50. Yes. So you got 3 Save Marts and a Smith's. You got 4 choices of locations. Take those drugs, turn them in. Don't let them be out in the community where somebody might get a hold of them and take them when they don't need to be taking them.
Yes, yes. And you can also bring in your Tylenol, your cough syrups, anything that you just say, I don't need this anymore, I want to get rid of it.
So that would be a good way then to get rid of, say, expired medications,
Yes.
even if they're not a prescription medication.
Yes.
Expired over-the-counter drugs are eligible for that as well.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is one big event that you guys have coming up, but I know you've got some other programs that are going on with Partnership Carson City. I know you're doing a lot of education around street drug use
Yep.
with Partnership Carson City. Tell us a little bit about that program, and then maybe let's talk a little bit about what Partnership Carson City is doing with regards to some of the marijuana initiatives that are happening in the state legislature right now.
Wonderful. We do a youth trends presentation, and we also have other presentations that are focused on specific drugs. We take those presentations and we present them to parents, to our local community agencies, and into the schools. So just this week, we taught heroin to all of the health classes at the high school and just gave them some education, some statistics, and we really just talked and conversed about what is happening in their school and what we can do to really help them. The Youth Trends presentation touches on every little piece of drug that you can find on the street. And we work very closely with the Sheriff's Office to find out what they're seeing come in and what we can help educate our community with.
And if somebody wanted to have one of these presentations, how could they get you to come to their organization, their school, or their youth organization and talk to their kids?
All they have to do is contact Partnership Carson City. We will come to you, or you can come to us, and you can give us a phone call. You can reach us by email or on our website. And you can also check us out on Facebook.
And tell everybody what the website is.
www.partnershipcarsоncity.com or .org.
.org.
Yes.
www.partnershipcarsоncity.org.
Yes.
All right, so go there, and there's also a lot of great information
Oh, yes.
on the website about drug use for kids and for parents and for educators as well. So if you want to know more about preventing drug use, that is a great resource to check out.
Yes, yes. We have many links on there that will take you to national sites, local sites, and it'll give you resources as well.
Fantastic. So there are a couple bills in the state legislature right now revolving around marijuana. There's medical marijuana and recreational marijuana use. I think I even saw a bill for marijuana for pets.
Yes, yes.
What is Partnership Carson City's stance about that?
Our primary goal is to educate. We do not lobby. We just educate. So if we can just allow our community to have the most knowledge they can about whether it's medical, whether it's recreational, or whether it's just illegal in general, we just want everyone to have a clear view on how that's going to affect our community. And so we just try to stand behind what's legal, what is approved by our federal government, and just try to go from there.
And I know you're working closely with the Sheriff's Office on these issues as well.
Yes, our Executive Director, Kathy, really takes charge of the marijuana initiatives and works very closely with our Sheriff's Office.
Absolutely. So just to recap, the organization is available to do some drug awareness presentations, and you've got some great partnerships around town, great education that's been going on. What do you think? What do you think you are seeing the most of now? What drugs should we be concerned about here in Carson City?
Most definitely it is prescription drugs, and we see it happening with our middle school age groups. That's 11 to about 15 years old. We see an extreme abuse rate with them. And then after that, it's marijuana. And that is the #1 concern. And most of our marijuana users who are young are going to rehab for that.
That's interesting, because I would have thought, just anecdotally, that methamphetamine was a bigger problem here in town, because we do hear a lot about that in the news. But as far as youth rates of drug use, you think prescription drugs are really the top priority right now?
Oh, yes. Yes, they definitely are. If it's not prescription drugs, then it's heroin. We are very fortunate that our methamphetamines rates have gone down, but On the other side of that, our heroin use has gone up with it. So opiates are our number one concern right now.
And many of those opiates, as we mentioned at the beginning of the spot, are prescription drugs. And people have been prescribed them as painkillers after surgery or something like that, and they might have them sitting around in their house.
Yes.
So what we want to let everyone know today is check your medicine cabinets, look in there. If you've got drugs that you're done using, that you're not going to need anymore, take them to that prescription drug roundup on April 25th.
Yes, bring them to us. We will take care of them. We'll get rid of them properly for you. They're off your hands. You don't have to worry about them, and we take care of it in a safe way.
Fantastic. Hannah McDonald from Partnership Carson City, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's it for It's Your City for this week. We'll see you next week.